Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. My name's Jeff Jones. I just started my journey in real estate, so I'll try to make this as short as possible. But to give you kind of an overview, I started studying for the real estate exam on October 15th. I signed up for a course online called the CE Shop. I think it was around 200 and something dollars. I got the course that you have to take, the 60 hours, and then I also purchased the additional I think 30 hours that you have to take after you get your exam. So I did it all as a package deal. I started October 15th and I studied like a madman until December 12th when I took my test for the very first time. I walked in and I took the test and I made a couple notes. I wanted to share with you guys some things that might be able to help you. It's just my experience, and I know that the test is different for everyone. So keep that in mind, and also keep in mind this is for the state of Alabama. But I took the entire 3 hours, and I took my time. I mean, it was crazy. I was so stressed, and I don't know how it happened, but I made a 91 on the test, and I could not believe it. But I think it boiled down to one thing, and this is one of the things I want to share with you guys, is that honestly, it was really about immersing myself in the culture of real estate. It's something that I love doing. It's something I'm the kind of person that pulls out his phone, looks at the Realtor.com app just for fun. I just like it. It's what I've done for 20 years. I've sold a couple houses myself. I have a lot of friends who are real estate agents. I understand kind of the general terminology. So if that is not your experience, what I would suggest you do more than anything is start to do that. Start to immerse yourself in the culture of real estate, because what I realized was there were a lot of questions on the exam that maybe I didn't quite know, exactly, or I hadn't studied that, but it was more of a kind of a common sense thing. And so that's what I would notice. It was more of a common sense thing. And so I encourage you to do that, number one. Now let me share with you a couple things that I did that might help. When I showed up at the test, they had these earplugs and then these huge earmuffs, and I thought that is ridiculous. Well, let me tell you something. I ended up using those ridiculous things because the people around me were so noisy and squeaky chair, and I mean, it was crazy. So I highly recommend you doing that. I wish I had done it at the beginning and not waited until about hour two to actually put the earplugs in. It would have made a huge difference. The other thing is I used just a simple calculator. I'm talking the most basic calculator ever, and it worked fine. So don't worry about that. No stress over that. The other thing is the tools I use. There's a website. It's called prepagent.com, I believe. They've got a huge Facebook group, like 16,000 members. That was the number one thing that made the difference for me, because it was an instant support group. Everybody's in the same boat, everybody's trying to do the same thing that you're doing. Everybody's working towards a goal. And so I encourage you to join that group. And I purchased the Prep Agent, I guess the premium or whatever, the course that you could do. And that was tremendously helpful. A lot of practice tests. I highly recommend that. The other thing is I bought the app called Real Estate for Dummies. And that was really great. So what I want to stress to you guys, maybe this is a little different than some of you all are going to have as an experience, but I work from home. So I studied when I first started October 15th. I spent like 5, 6, 7 hours a day going through the material. And I'm not a very fast reader, so it was tough. I ended up spending well over 100 hours in the course, actually. But I studied all the time. In fact, I would say I studied an average of 3 hours a day, regardless of what I had going on. And so I'm in the car, I'm at a red light. This may offend some people, but if I'm stopped, I'm going through the flashcards. If I'm watching TV at night, I'm going through the flashcards. I did that constantly to where it just became second nature. So that's really the most important thing. The flashcards, the vocabulary. I think that will make the biggest difference in anything that you do. The other thing, and this is really kind of what I want to wrap up with, is I doubted myself a lot. And when I would take the practice courses through the CE shop and then also with Prep Agent, I was always thinking, oh, I did terrible. And then lo and behold, when I would hit the button and it would give me my score was always higher. And that's exactly what happened with my real test. When I left the test, I thought, oh man, I could have failed this thing. I genuinely felt that way. And then lo and behold, I got a 91. I couldn't believe it. But it was because I had just ingrained it in my head so much. And so just do that. Do it all the time, because here's the deal. You're only going to have to do this one time. I mean, your test, your license, it's good, forever. Now you're going to have to take the continuing education courses, of course, but you're only going to have to do this one time. So invest as much time as possible. Study, study, study. Really make the sacrifices, because I promise it's going to pay off. And also, don't stress about it either, because you know what? You're eventually going to get it. I've heard stories of people taking it 5, 6, 7, sometimes 8 times. But guess what? At the end of the day, you know what you call those people? Real estate agents. The person who fails it, or excuse me, the person who passes it the first time, you call them a real estate agent. So don't worry about that. Don't let that get you down. But do what I said. Surround yourself, immerse yourself in a culture of real estate. That made the biggest difference in my life. So hope you guys do well. If you have any questions, hey, put a comment below. I would love to connect with you, share anything else. But subscribe, like it, share it, do all that good stuff. And hopefully I'll be putting out some more videos soon. And hey, tell me if you passed. I'd love to hear from you.